2, 3, 4.
Welcome to the Mudblood podcast. I am your host, Paddy McDonald, and today we have, for the first time ever, on the podcast,
Psychic Glenn, Mr. Glenn Gordon.
Psycho Glenn.
Psycho Glenn. I've been called that before.
I know.
Quite a few times with Psycho Glenn growing up, quite a lot.
Is that right?
It took me a while to live it down, like, really.
And where did you grow up?
Grew up in Ballysullen, Paddy. Went to Boys Madeline, got expelled, and went to Castlehan, got expelled, and ended up in Pathways.
And why did you get expelled?
ADHD. I remember printing a Ouija board off whenever I was in first year and photocopying it and giving it out to all the first years, and they went a wee bit crazy.
Just because of that?
I just said it was the devil they were dealing with.
And if you don't mind me asking, what years would you have been in Boys Madeline?
I started, I think, 99.
99. So, right, so I'm getting an idea. Mm-hmm. I'm not that good at maths, but I'm working on it.
35, Patrick.
35. So, like, you were at the age maybe where having what you had, you were just a wee cunt.
I was just a wee cunt, yeah.
You weren't put into a bracket, like, you know, now.
Well, I was very rebellious, it was. It was ADHD too. So I didn't really understand it back then.
I think it's one of them ones, but you came from Ballysullen, so would it be right in saying that Ballysullen is working class, like?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So
definitely.
They come from that background, like, you're going to be, like, I was a mad cunt in school. I was. And there's no point in saying,
I can imagine.
I don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? But it was a bit of crack too. Everything all right there, recording on. But it was a bit of crack. So, like, some of the things I done and I got away with in school, I don't. I think it was because the teachers actually secretly licked the crack at me, right? Yeah. And I got away with a lot more. I could fucking crack the teacher with a fucking meter stick and everything. It was, you know, just stuff. But back then, they beat the fuck out of you. I don't know. Did they hit you back then?
Well, they grabbed me a couple of times, like, but they never actually hit me.
Fuck, we got the bollocks knocked out of us. And Glenn actually brought us in Munster. And he says there's a moon and a star and a sun on it, which is the day and the night.
Yep.
So what's the crack with?
Well, Paddy, I think women lived here long before us, you say, and it was a utopia.
Right.
You know, of titties and fucking fannies and flowers. And I think
sounds great.
There was a cataclysm, a bang, a splash and a bang, and some of the girls heard it. And then the next minute was night and day, and there was men. The men started coming out of them.
So fucking werewolves?
Sort of like that. Sort of. No, like big giant sperm come from the stars, boom into the earth.
And they all got pregnant?
And that was it, the men came.
Yeah, well...
But they put the men to work. The next minute was, right, you mate, go and cut that fucking wood for the fire. Right, mate, go and get that dinner, mate. Right, mate. I says to them, what's the fucking point of bringing them? I'm in the wrong body, you know. Sometimes, Paddy, I don't like to say... Well, I don't know. It'd be a laugh to be a girl too. You gotta bring your mum.
I said something the other day and she looked at me and went, what do you mean? And I said, if a girl goes out to get her hole, she'll get her hole. Whereas if a man goes out to get his hole, he'll probably not get it. You know, if he does get it, it's fair play, but like a man would go, I'm going to get my hole tonight. The girl just has to go, no, and that's it. Like, it's just fucking not happening. Whereas a woman, there'll be some stupid cunt sitting in a bar will fucking raid somebody.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? And she went, I don't get what you mean. Hear me, I'm fucking telling you now, if a woman wants to go and get her hole, or some stupid cunt out there will just raid.
I think most women are cotton on now. They're better off staying home and making love to themselves.
Is that right?
I sat for fucking 5 minutes up against the wall in a bar. They can remain after a night out. Like,
yeah.
You wouldn't want all that there, but unless you're going home and sniffing their coke, it's a different story. What you hear they're doing now?
That's fucking mad.
Imagine having to get a wee bag of rocks or something so you can get your hole. What's your fucking fortune?
Do you know what? See, being married and having kids and all that there and being in a relationship, it costs you money anyway.
I know.
So I say to people, like, see if you don't want all that, the hassle of it all, fucking just go and pay for it.
Aye.
And people go, I can't say that. Or, yes, there is people that's exploited and fucking trafficked. And I'm not saying about that. Find a local prostitute, a local one. One that lives up the street who you know are man or something.
Well, that's just it.
You're too mass new from it.
It's all the same in the dark.
It's all the same. Everybody pays for it in a way.
Do you know why I can understand why men would go to a prostitute? And I think it's because they've that much respect and love for their wife that they don't want to scalp the arse of her. So it's like they'll rather pay somebody 50 quid for it. Or for the... A lot of men like to be sodomized too. They do. It starts off with a finger in their arse, and then the next minute they're getting pissed on by women. Be it, no nanny down.
No, I get you. Well, I'm not into it, right? And that's just being honest. We've had massive conversations in it, and I think it's because I think back or I'm stinking. That's the fucking long and the short of it. But I'm just like, no, I've no interest in it. But William's all fucking for it. He's well into it. Like
He may have a big dick, but I have a bigger consciousness. Far bigger. One of my friends, actually, I'm not going to mention who, but she was on one of my podcasts and she'd said I was seeing that wee William one. He was on one of them dating things. It might have been Facebook dating. She says, now, Glenn, sometimes he looks like a wee smick and sometimes he looks like a pig.
Sometimes he looks like a spick, sometimes he looks like a fucking pig. I get that. William does have that wee, up
He
nose.
reminds me of Sonic a wee bit. He's a wee bit more like Sonic, I think, because his hair's getting higher.
Sonic
I love
the head.
William, like,
and
but
do you
he's
know
a wee
what?
boy.
He likes the rings too. He likes the
Does he?
golden. Oh, wow.
Well, he hasn't come near me, Paddy.
No?
No, he hasn't. Maybe he'll see you with me now and it'll be him all.
Oh, he'll get jealous.
I knew he would be here today, yeah.
He'd be jealous. He was annoyed. Like when I sent a message and I said you were on, he was fucking raging. He wasn't here, and that was a genuine thing. Like,
See now.
It's all
We had a
happening.
laugh the last time we were together, but
And here, you've been knocking about with big Dave Elliott, am I right?
Dave's the best. See, if
Big.
it wasn't for Dave, I would be like a Maharishi, or I would be a prostitute or something. You know what I mean?
You need to explain what a Makarishi is.
Maharishi is like, he was a man that like created like trance meditation, but if you see the pictures of him, he's always sitting with a hair and all, he's like, oh.
Giving it all that.
Aye.
So he's a stoner from fucking Ardown.
No, he's from India somewhere. He's
Typical.
The one
India-
that got the Beatles into all the.
That's it. That's
Yes.
that's what I was about to say. They came back and started doing all the mad music and all after that. He, you know what? Not a bad thing to go and see him. You know, meditate. When I was fucking found on drugs, I was just sent to Clanlar Monastery till the fucking priest,
Did you get a wee bit?
no fucking thing.
See, if he don't get fucking nothing. Nothing, not a thing.
No, it didn't. But what got you into the whole thing
The comic thing or the psychic thing?
and the psychic thing?
Always being a wee bit fucking touched as a child and having a ghost in my room named Ruben when I was really young. And Mum and Daddy didn't believe me. One night they woke up and was standing over their bed.
And so they actually experienced it.
They experienced it too. My mum, we went to see a psychic then, and the psychic said there was 3 adults in the house and one child in the move, and they did. But as I've got older, I used to call it Ruben. I don't know. I feel like it's Rasputin in a way. It's weird because I've always been fascinated by Russia long before all this war stuff. Like
Rasputin.
the Rasputin, the Mad Monk of Moscow,
You know Rasputin.
was it her too?
Yeah, completely. But that's why
completely.
the women of the court loved him.
Yeah,
And he had a big dick.
but I don't know whether he did or whether he was.
What?
He was a big smelly cunt as well, though.
Well, he didn't cut his nails and didn't. But
He
back in
didn't
them
wash.
days, there was no fucking power
I'd
showers or
to say
anything.
like he was
Stinking?
notably smelly,
Right.
like But that's why it was such a big
But that-
surprise that he bed so many.
That's a thing. Like the women do like a wee bit of dirty and bad.
They do.
They fucking do. Like they do. Like if you go and you fucking play a match or something like that and you're sweaty, like the parts like it, don't they?
They do. They definitely do. It's
The third
like
parts?
must be the pheromones.
But Rasputin, they said that they cut his cock off when he died, and then they had it in a jar. Like there's been numerous.
It's a myth, though. But
Was the
Wonder
thing
if we
that
could get the hands on the jar.
no, they
Maybe
did.
that's
They
Van
did have
Puxler,
a
is it?
jar, and there was a guy,
Aye,
but
but
it turned
there's-
out it was a cucumber or something, wasn't it?
There's like, I think there's like 12,
So Rasputin he must have had a wee teeny dick. He ran about with a cucumber in his fucking trunk.
there's like 12 museums around Russia
That claim to
all
have it.
Claim to have
Yeah.
Rasputin's dick.
But the story is that they had his dick in the jar, and then all the women in Russia used to meet up once a month and go
All of them.
and the pass the dick about, and that's what started on Summers parties.
See, now he was a great man. A great man. He knew how to keep the women. He knew that the women weren't getting what they needed, and I'm kind of the same. They're not getting what they need.
Is that right?
They're going to start turning. They've done this experiment with all the rats. I read about it, and then I watched a wee video about all these rats, and they put them in this thing, and like a wee mini culture of their own. And they grew and grew and grew, and some were it was really successful, and then they started breeding at a really high rate. And then the females started to become distracted, and then they started to actually eat their own and turn on them and all. I think that's happening in society. You see it now. I mean, they're more like Terminators, women, sometimes.
No, women can be tough. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Have you never thought about having a woman around you?
Well, I'm probably terrified because I know she would organise me. I know she would be in control, and I don't know if I like being controlled, really.
Right. So you like to just be your own person and float.
I wouldn't
about.
mind if a man controlled me a wee bit, like, but
But have you ever been in a relationship like that? Or
I know like a toxic one. Aye, oh my god, aye. Mm-hmm.
They're not good, eh?
No, we bastard bit me in the neck. We went away to Magaluf. Nah,
People pay
I
for
didn't
that.
listen. I didn't listen. You know when someone's like being a wee bit of a burn, a wee bit grumpy, and you think, oh my god, he likes me. I was younger, like, and then we went away to Magaluf, and I swear it was like walking on eggshells the whole time, and then drinking drugs and all, and then he bit me in the neck. The scar there. Terrible.
Fuck.
I've been single for men, like, aye.
Put you
Once
off.
bitten, twice shy, Paddy.
Don't
Literally.
I know it? I've been bit before.
It's 2 women that saved me.
Is that right?
2 women. Complete strangers, like.
And if it wasn't for
If
them,
it wasn't
do
for
you
them
think it
women,
would've
it wasn't for them women, I don't know what would have happened, honestly.
been- Jesus
And they
Christ.
heard everything that was happening. They were on the balcony down below. We didn't even know they were there. They heard every way he was
Cops
going
get
on.
involved down
Yeah.
there?
But I let it go because it was in a different country and it was his first holiday away and he was from down south and all. And I was just like, no, I'm just going home, boom, and that was it.
Did you ever see him again?
And we all did see him after that like once or twice and that was it.
Fuck. I got my finger bit off.
Did you?
I wasn't in a relationship, but I got my finger bit off. Like. So.
Paddy, that there would be good for fucking flicking the bean still. You've got to make do what you have, Paddy. That's a bean flicker.
The bean flicker?
The bean flicker.
I say that's my phone and that's my fucking Bluetooth.
Did you get a claim, Paddy?
No. Because I had a criminal record. I didn't
The
really care.
pink.
Bastards.
That wee tiny one.
Well, that's the wee bowling ball one. That there. That's the,
That could be a wee lucky, like a wee wish thing. You know what I mean? Make lucky
You can
wishes.
sell it.
See, when you're dead, we'll have the hand there. And
just
people
take the
can
wee
make wishes.
finger off.
Aye.
Put it in a jar,
jar.
and go round.
Right, well, I
Still
want
the
the
other
jar.
part
You've
of the
heard me
finger?
saying it first.
What?
Do you still have the other part of the finger?
No. What actually happened was a couple of doormen went down looking for it, and then all the punters in the bar. And when they found it, the problem why they couldn't find it for so long is because it was all fag butts, because it was outside the
Yeah.
smoking area. My finger was chewed up that much it looked like a fag butt.
Could have been worse. Could have ate your cock.
Nah, I would have paid for it.
Not for them to pay it off. Now, Paddy,
I
now you
would've-
don't need
I
to
would've
pay
paid
for
for
it.
it,
Experienced man like you could get plenty of them off.
But it's one of them ones. They found it and then they rang the hospital and they were like, what'll I do with this finger? And they were like, it's too late now. Is it in bad shape? And they're like, it's chewed to bollocks. And they were like, it's too late now. And the cops threw it in the bin.
It's not going to be prosthetic.
Oh, I probably could, but what's the
Paddy,
fucking
adore you,
point?
just get
What's
to
the
be-
fuck?
Because you could, it could
People
be a
talk
joke.
about
You could be sitting there and the next minute the
people
finger
like
could come off.
do you not get a wee tattoo of a nail on the top of it? What you could do? But then it just looks like a wee stubby.
You wouldn't even, I wouldn't have known until you
He
just
used
told
to
me.
play
know.
guitar, now he plays banjo.
Ukulele.
I've webbed toes, like, so I can't talk. We're all freaks in
You
my ass.
have webbed toes?
Webbed toes. Now only 2 of
Is
them
that a
straight.
thing that happens in
Well, apparently
Ballysil?
back in Nazi times, you'd have been sent to the concentration camps for it.
Fucking right.
But then I'd get done for being gay, done for being fucked, basically.
You definitely didn't fit their
No, I didn't.
master race or like
No.
Glenn. On top of everything.
I know
So-
what the big fucking deal is. I don't really have a dark haired man, really. A big. Nothing against blonde, Paddy.
No. You're the first person come on and call me blonde. I'm fucking. Everybody calls me ginger, even though it's just my beard.
Ginger
It's-
pubes.
Yeah,
Ginger's a big dick spot, Paddy.
is that right?
Mostly, yeah. That's what I've
Well,
I
realised.
may be the exception.
Listen, as long as you're good with your hands.
Oh, that's it. Or your tongue. That's it. Keep it going. But then Reuben. So Reuben was the ghost that was in your house, and that got you until. Oh, that
It got me always thinking that there was something else, there was something more. And I was always obsessed with magic and all too. And then my nanny gave me cards when I was 11. And then when I was 21, it was this old book that I used to play with in my nanny's house. And it didn't have like a cover, the back, like the binding bit on it, because it was that old. And I lifted it up again when I was in my early 20s. I used to pretend it was a never-ending story because I loved that film. And then
Brilliant.
whenever I got it was a book of fortune of occult sciences of how to like read cards and everything. The wee woman next door gave it to her.
and Jane Gat was an accident that you got it, or was
wasn't, it
that?
was just pure quit. It wasn't. It was like that moment, like, oh my god! But it's like it was right there in front of my face all my life. I would have been too young to understand it.
Yeah.
But only when I was in 20, I was like, fucking hell! How did I never ever actually? It was there in front, literally in my hand all my life as a child, constantly playing with it. Didn't even know what it was until I was older.
And then did you have to embrace it before?
I didn't want to be a reader really, like, but I got the point. I was doing photography as well, and that was my job for a while. And then everybody was coming to me for readings and all, and it just I ended up me just. I don't know. When I got to about 30, I was like, right, okay, I'll start to do it now. I think take it a wee bit more seriously. I was doing it anyway, but just, I don't know, people came to me and it started that way.
So it's one of them ones where it is one of them things where it has to come to you in a sense, but you have to
I
embrace
feel
it.
I'm natural completely, but other people I know, you can definitely go to circles and you can learn and you can develop, and if you've got that in you, you've got it in you. But I think everybody's got it a wee bit, but most people are afraid of it because to have it, you have to have truth, and people don't like truth.
People
Well,
like
we
to
were
hide
actually
behind it.
saying before you came on, we were saying that you were coming in, and I was saying to him, have you ever been like the medium or like a fortune teller or anything? And like And I says I hadn't been, and he hadn't either. And I was going, I think I'm more afraid of it being true, and that's why I think I'm like more detached from it all.
Yeah.
Like my wife and her sister see auras of people.
Yeah.
They see colours and all that there, right? But like things have happened where they would have dreams and premonitions.
And things happen.
And it happens, right? And we hear this one's fucking mental, right? So Marie and Tim bought 2 chocolate Labradors and they were living in the house up in Dundrod. And the dogs were sick as fuck, right? No vet knew what was wrong with them. Nobody knew what was wrong with them. Now, Andrea's granda owned the pet shop in Gresham Street, and the other granda used to do greyhounds and always had dogs about him. And they were ringing all the uncles and everybody and going, anybody that had an experience in dogs, don't know what's wrong with dogs here, they're just fucking sick, they're fucking behaving fucking just erratically. And Maria went to bed and had a dream. Say this was all like happening for 2 weeks. She had a dream on the Tuesday night, and she woke up on the Wednesday and she rang Andrea and she said, I had a dream that both grandas came and the 2 of them were standing going, Maria, the dogs are on drugs.
Yeah.
The dogs are on drugs. And both of them came and said it.
Yeah.
So Maria went out and watched the dogs all day and seen them eating, and they were eating magic mushrooms.
See, that's fucking mad. And see, dog is God too. Like, I'm being honest, dog is actually God. That's what was the man that comes through there.
Do you know? But like shit like that's just fucking mental.
Have you ever had mushrooms?
Oh, aye.
I love them, Paddy.
Aye. Do you know, there's like groups set up where people are like, you need to take mushrooms in your life because it'll bring stuff and powers that they reckon the human beings have lost over this. Like, who's to say that humans couldn't fly and stuff? It's all that madness gets said, and when it's people who take mushrooms, people go fucking.
You could time travel, go through dimensions.
People are saying that there's definitely powers that we had that we forgot about using, or it's been lost because of past civilizations that have died off, and different things like that. And they say if you take that sort of stuff, then you will go to a different realm and you'll have.
Say, let's say Coben. It's great. That last time with me was like an alien soul spa. I was convinced the frequencies come through the TV and healed me. It was great.
I remember taking it after one of my sister's weddings, and the Italian referee, you know, the big baldy one.
Yeah.
I ended up in a house, and that was on loop with Sky Sports News, and it was him. And he just kept coming out of the TV with a red card and fucking hit me in the head. And I was like, whoa. And it was the same stuff. But there was stars and moons wallpaper.
Yeah.
And the fucking, I felt like I was.
It was in the universe.
I was in Milky Way.
Aye, see, that's just what I mean. It always falls like that. I think where it's like.
It takes you
for me anyway. It takes me somewhere else. Aye.
But I mean, now I have kids and I don't do drugs and whatever. But it's one of them ones where. Definitely, like, you fucking get transported.
Everybody has to try it sometime.
There was a few things happen. So you done that and you went down that road. Does it annoy you? Like, do you ever not get any sleep because of it?
It does. I get wound up sometimes over, like, if I read people and then I get attached to them a wee bit or know their story, I can be thinking that way, or else I'm up half the night people wanting readings too. Sometimes I try just to shut off, but it's hard.
That's what I would be thinking. That would be the end. Like, as comedians and stuff like that, where our minds start working at like 12 o'clock or 5 minutes before you're about to go to bed.
Yeah.
And you're exhausted, but your mind's going, fuck. And I don't know, does the human body then relax that much that you're relaxed and you're about to fall asleep and your mind then opens up?
If I'm stimulated again, yeah. Like, say if I'm half asleep and then my phone rings and I have to talk and engage and go into glam mode and boom, then I'm wide awake. So that's why.
So is it all over the phone that you do?
Well, that's how people book appointments, because people sometimes land at my door and be like, Glenn, can you book me in? And I'm like, okay, but please just phone me in future.
Right, okay.
So, like, no, but people are always, my page always goes mad. People are always messaging, like, sometimes late at night. But I have a way of psych too, where people can go and get readings where my psychic time, because I can only do so many appointments, you know what I mean?
Of course you can. And how long does a reading normally take?
It can take anything from half an hour to an hour. Just depends.
Right, okay. Really depending. But you're talking in and around that.
Yeah.
So technically, like an 8-hour, 9-hour shift, 10-hour shift.
Well, I wouldn't be doing that many every day, because honestly I would have nothing left for myself. But I do clients every day, like, but usually I wouldn't do that many unless it was a group.
Right, okay.
It's very draining to do that many at once.
I'm going to have to do one now.
Yes.
I'm going to have to do one, because I was saying to him, he was saying about it, and I said, I remember, like, this girl was doing a recording for a video of me, and we were over in Queens, and she says, you know, your granddad's behind you, and I went, what? And I said, my granddads are dead, and she went, I know. And I was like, right, okay. And she went, I do readings and stuff like that, and he's standing behind you, and he's letting you know. And I was like, fuck. So Andrea and her sister, they would go and get wee readings, not all the time, but they would go. And Andrea brought me to a wee spiritual church over in Malone Avenue. Mm-hmm. And I was telling him, so I'm sitting there anyway, and I'm going, I don't know what the fucking expect. The guy says, did they sing and all in here? She went, no, it's just people get up and then they start talking, and they get up. And my granny came, like, fucking, it was her. Yeah. And it was too close. Like, this wee woman washes her fucking skin with Ajax. And I went, my granny used to go to her, why's your skin like that? And she used to go, oh, I washed my skin with Ajax. Just anything that was lying about, I used. It didn't matter. And then if you swore or you said a bad word, my granny used to go, I'll wash your mouth out with carbolic soap, right? Which was probably a saying, but at the same sense, that and that came, and I went. And then stuff about my granddad started coming, like it was him, like, this man working a tarmac, and this guy, and I was going, fuck me, this man smoked a vape. And I'm going, oh my God. And Andrew was like, why didn't you say anything? And I was like, I shit myself. I was like, what the fuck? But they were like, is there any, like, all I had to do was slap me in the face, do you know what I mean? And I just went, holy fuck. And I didn't go back because it scared the balls clean out of me.
See, it is. It can be really, really intense and really, really scary too, and emotional. I think it's like an emotional hit. That's why I don't love mediumship as much as fortune telling, because it's very emotional energy all the time. Sometimes it makes me just want to jump off a cliff, because you're always
drained.
Aye, yeah. I'm a person, like, really truthfully, I believe you should be vital and live in life. You're supposed to trust in God. You're supposed to trust in heaven. You're not meant to ask too many questions. Like, if they come to visit you, they come to visit you, but you're not meant to hold on to what they were when they were alive. In fact, it's offensive to do so. Might stop you getting into where the next bit is if you don't believe in it.
Right, okay.
So that's why I think about God like that, and I go, right, well, I could get on a stage right now and I could bring it all through, but then that would just perpetuate people not knowing what the next bit is, and maybe in the communicating bit when they can learn to do it themselves.
Right, okay.
In a way. I just feel like God would be bad to me if it was like a full-time medium, and God wouldn't like it really. I would end up getting in trouble.
I'm one of them ones where, like, I don't understand everything. Like, people say to me, do you believe in? And I go, there's something. I just don't understand it all.
I think everybody translates it differently, and readers certainly translate it all differently. Like,
you know, there's something, but I don't know what it is. And there's definitely something out in the universe and stuff like that. There 100%. There's stuff where you can fucking say stuff out in the universe and stuff comes back. Like, there's no doubt about it. And I'm just like, do you know what?
Do you not think it teaches you a lot of your...
Oh, what do you mean?
Like your comic stuff, do you not think it, like, you download it, sir? Just
it definitely helps. It definitely helps.
There's some comedian God up there going like, right, Paddy, honestly?
No, there's definitely something comes back. Like, there's something that pushes you to the next level, and there's something that you go, what it is, I have no idea. Do I know? I think it's all the experiences I've had helps you then realise that...
Exactly. And it's like a doing full circle yourself. It's the only way you can move in any angle, any direction. Yeah. And it's only going through certain pain in life, growing. A lot of people are afraid to grow, Paddy.
Yeah. And even working, like I said to you a minute ago, we were just talking, and I was saying, is this what you're doing? And I was saying that I seen a couple of guys in the building site, and I was going, thank fuck, I get to see them early mornings, dark mornings, fucking, there they are, out 6, 7 in the morning, putting your tools in the van, driving to a site in the dirty smell. And do you know what? I'm glad I'd done it, but for all them years that I was doing other jobs, there was something going to me. You're not meant to be doing this.
There's something more for you. And I've always felt that too. Like, and I even feel it when I'm doing readings. I know there's something else.
And they're going, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I always felt like I had bad luck. I didn't have bad luck. It was just they didn't want me to succeed in them jobs that I wasn't meant to do. Time. So they were going, no. And then obviously my wife having all that spiritual stuff and whatever, she had belief in me more than I did, and she was like, no, you need to do this, and why don't you try it, and why? And she's like that with our kids. Like she's
very given.
She wants the kids to have, you know, she'll try them in ballet, she'll try them in camogie, she'll try them in fucking water polo, she'll try them, you know, just because in her head she's going, they could be a master at that one thing, they could fall in love with that one thing, and if we don't give them all the opportunities, then they'll never know. You know, so she has that thought process and probably forgets about herself.
That's the way the Mother Earth is.
Do you know what I mean? She forgets about herself, and sometimes she probably sitting going, "Fuck, everybody else is doing what they need to do, and then where's mine?" So I always try to have good fucking karma there and say, "Listen, why don't you do something you want to do? Why don't I help you try and do this, or why don't you know?" So we try and look
Get her a
after
wee
her.
business on the side.
Do you know-
Beauty business or something.
You know what I mean?
Know what I mean?
She, do you know
Or
what?
smellies or wax something. Just girls loved all the wee home shit, the girly shit. It's any excuse to get around other women in network, and that's what it is.
Do you know she took a wee part-time job in House of Fraser
Brilliant.
at Christmas, and I says there, it's not even about the money. It's that
Getting it right.
hit out and having it in.
Having her own identity.
Yeah.
Aye. That's good that you recognise that. Paddy.
No, well, I know now. She punched ahead of me, but she didn't really. But
But
no,
a lot of them need to really realise that. A lot of women are at home right now listening to us and they're going, fuck, and all of us, they used to be someone, they used to be a person, and now it's like they're not. Go out and do what you need to do, honestly. Develop yourself even just a wee bit of half an hour a week, I swear. Cause
even if it's a wee course where there's
Yep.
other women at, or something, you know, anything. And I think when Andrea never wanted, like, she was a career woman when I met her, and she didn't want to have kids, and kids was my idea. You know, I get the blame of it anyway. I planted the seed, I suppose. But people say, why do you have so many kids? And I says, I'm like a Brit, I don't like pulling out.
That's just like you say. She's harvested your shades. How many do you have?
4.
4. 4's planned. Oh, that's your north, south, east and west. You know what
That's
I mean?
it. That's your campus complete then.
Yep, campus complete.
So I said there, right, well, once this last one goes in the nursery, definitely push on with what you want to do. And she's had a couple of wee ideas and she's came to me, so she is thinking.
What are you going to do if she comes back and says, I've thought about it, but like an our baby?
She'll have to go somewhere else.
Now,
You might have to give her.
Did you get snipped?
Yeah, twice.
Did you? Why twice?
Because the first time it sort of broke a wee bit.
Did it?
See?
Apparently there's a few ones out there snipped and I've said, listen, it's not 100%.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But don't
Girls,
be
listen,
saying
yeah,
that.
it's not 100% because I've ones out there now. We snipped, I says, love, I know. You're like a clam and there's a wee pearl inside it.
It'll have to be. It'll get sorted.
That's
See, it's happened. It medically, there's miracles happen. There's miracles
exactly,
happen.
that's exactly what I say to people.
So if
It
it's
is
meant
miracles.
to be, it's meant to be. If it's for you,
I
it'll
reckon
be
a
alright.
woman could have a baby all on her own anyway, wouldn't even need a man. It's just to keep them
I know a
involved.
girl done that, you know.
Mary?
That's right, man. No, no. I know a girl who went through a bad breakup, and I met her. I'm not going to name her. I wouldn't do that on her. But she put up that she was pregnant, and I knew the fella she used to go with, and I just so happened to meet her one day walking down the road there, and she was well on the pregnancy, and I was like, well, all going well and all. And she was like, yeah, and I says, don't mind me asking, you know, are you with the fella? And she says, no, and he'd be, oh, right, fuck, but shit, that happened just after the relationship and all. She went, no, I went and got a sperm donor. I wanted to have a child on my own. I don't need a fucking man. And I was like, fair fucking lady.
But I reckon, as I was saying before men came here, before the Big Bang thing, women could just breed their own women. It was just women they bred. They didn't really know what a boy was. And then they started birthing them in what they thought God's image was. Girls, wake up. Know what I mean?
Should you see that? Is
It
that
has to be women first. Women had to come before men. And men don't understand this.
yeah.
But they definitely did. And I don't know whether it's just wiped from history or what, but they definitely did have to come from...
Well, it makes sense that the woman, the man.
They're primal, you see, and we're not. So the reality that we're seeing everything from the sky to the sun, everything, we are inside the woman now because it's an illusion of your perception. And you say the way your wife is like, boom, do that, and boom, look at the world you're in now. She was like a computer chip that made that happen. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Oh, no,
Burst
massive
worlds.
part, like,
Yeah.
100%. But then, see that you have that whole talking about men are from
Mars and women are
women
from Venus.
Is that balls, or is
I
that...
don't really know much
is
about that. Like, men are an extension of women, really.
But it sort of plays
Really, there is
in-
no masculine and feminine. There's just alpha energy,
Right.
and really the alpha energy it can be in both, but mostly it's the women because of the blood. Their blood's different. Like they've got a portal.
Right. So it's...
Just say the vagina's like a flower. And some flowers, it's like it really is. And then you've bananas
I've
and
seen
you've got
some
melons
ugly
and all.
flowers.
even the I think when after that bang, that's when the trees and all started to produce fruits that were sexualized. You know what I mean? Like bananas and all. And
Right.
like it's all creation. It's wicked. But you've no choice really.
No.
You're addicted to the fanny. It's like, whoop, next minute you're daddy daycare. Hello.
Yeah.
I sometimes say to the men around me, like, I could feel sorry for you, really, because you're just caught up in creation. That's what it is. It's caught up in creation. It is. When you're really young, you don't know. And, like, you are a breeder, like you'll have to bring life here, and it's only when you get to maybe a bit older and your kids are up, then you're allowed to be free.
You have the likes of, like, Aaron speaks about it himself. I'm not talking out of turn here or anything, but Aaron Butler at 18, I think, went and got a vasectomy.
I know, I think he's crazy. I was really sad to hear that, like, to be honest, 'cause I think he'd be a great daddy. I know he would, to be honest.
But there obviously is a lot of other things at play.
Oh, well, he's got issues, the child's issues, like, but
Do you know what I mean? But it's one of them ones where, from somebody like me, I'm sitting going, I don't understand that. But in the same sense, then I see some people, like, you're right, I can see, like, Aaron is very current, and people may think he's heartless. He didn't let me stay in his room one time when we were at a wedding, and I had nowhere to stay. Do you remember that, Sean?
Yeah.
Did he not?
No.
Whole
And he
field.
had, like, he had 2 beds in the room. So it wasn't even like he had to share the bed with
He's
me,
a Jenny on.
but he wouldn't let me in, and then I had to sleep in between Mickey Bartlett and Aaron Butler, or Aaron McCann. So could have been worse.
Could have been worse.
But
Could have been in with me, Paddy.
A lot of people think that he's heartless, but he's not
He's
heartless.
not, he's
no.
actually very corny.
He
He
is.
really is corny.
But it's one of them ones. Yeah, no, not you hear that, just sort of going fuck. But you know, everybody has their choice.
Tom fucking Benz
Tom Benz,
is the fucking
pedo. Tom Benz.
Who's Tom Benz?
He's a big enough comedian.
Yeah.
I have gigged with him before.
So in the episode before us, I was sitting going, "Oh, here, did you hear about that, like, comedian? Like, everything came out about him yesterday, and like he, like, admitted to, like, having, child pornography."
Is he? Where's he from? Is he from here?
No, he's English.
Oh, was
But even he's not massive.
He's
but
been on
he's
TV shows and
Yeah,
stuff.
he's famous enough. Like,
And we were searching it up there, and
we couldn't find
it. And I
he
could
was
remember
going,
seeing.
This is because Glenn's on, and I'm starting to fucking.
I
think
thought I was
I'm
fucking
having-
hallucinating. I thought I
He's-
dreamed this all last night because I was sitting. I could
See,
remember.
I am very psychedelic, haven't I? It makes you actually quit. I swear, I feel like if you were to take
That's
acid,
actually
I'd
what
be
we
the
were
hit.
saying. I was going, I'm fucking having visions here or something. There's going to be a comedian that comes out, but I found it there, like, eventually. Because I could remember, I was recording Andrew here yesterday, and I could remember him saying
talking about it.
he didn't say about it on the show, he just, like, said,
Did
like,
you hear about it?
"Oh, did you hear about that?" Like, I gigged with him
wouldn't.
before.
He wouldn't say any of that on his show. Like.
No. And I was going, fuck, and I can remember seeing, like, William liking something about it, like a joke about it, and then the fact I couldn't find it, I was going, fucking
Was
hell,
I dreaming that?
if I
Yeah.
dreamed that, then that would be nuts. I thought I was going mad there, but
I get stuff like that
Yeah.
all the time.
but yeah,
It's because nothing's believable anymore. This whole reality now, I even like Glenn, oh my god, you're shaky Glenn, oh my god, you're on TV, oh my god, you're... It's just not even believable anymore. It's like I'm fucking dreaming.
Right, okay. You think you're just in a fucking...
It's a dream. It is. It just
It's a wee
is.
thing. Is it all happening? Well, where do you see yourself going with it?
Don't know. Maybe I would like to go and read them Housewives, I think. It's going
Which
to happen
ones?
soon. In America.
And is that...
Maybe. I don't know.
Have
Maybe.
they came to you about it?
Well, I'm friends with one of them, like. So, and I've read her and some of the things I've said came true. So, what I would love to do, I think that would be... And then maybe after that, I would go, right, no more shaky stuff. I'll just be on TV.
what
and do
ones?
stuff.
Like, which?
Orange County and Beverly Hills, I love the most.
I see, he's from Ballysalmon, he would have had to went there.
You know what I mean? Like, but it's good. But you grew up watching them, but you know what I mean?
No, that's amazing. And you know, it's one of them things. Did you manifest that, or did
I
it just
think I
happen?
did manifest that completely. I did, definitely did.
Because that's what I mean. The reason why I'm asking is, where do you see yourself? But you've sort of answered it there, where you says you give up on the, like, stop the whole psyche thing and just be on TV. So do you see yourself like presenter or on a certain type of show?
Well,
or...
I'm open to doing everything, really. Like, I think that life will show me what it will put me where I need to be.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to be, like, anything that's a harmonic, and I'll play any sound you want. I'm ready. I'm an avatar. Universe use me.
You just go. He's
Tag
ready.
team
He's
universe.
ready. He's ready. He's ready to take whatever he's there.
It is. The demons tag team you to death until you do what they want. And now that I'm doing what they want, there's something else they want me to do. I don't know what it is yet.
See, living here
It's very
and
limited,
doing what you
isn't it?
do.
Very, very limited.
No,
yeah.
we are limited, but we're very, very lucky too, because a lot of the world is starting to look here and see
Yes.
what we have and what we do,
Yeah.
and like the comedy scene, fucking, they're
It's
coming
brilliant.
from everywhere, like it's flying. But was it hard, like doing what you do, because the
Big
troubles
time.
happened?
The troubles?
Yeah,
I think this is why it's needed so much. especially with goddess energy in women. And this is why, say, for example, housewives, I used to find them intelligent because for a long time women weren't allowed to speak. Women were like, had to live by the man's rules. It was the man that said what happened. And for women to go on like housewives and speak and say and be controlling and be all them things, women here were able to then emulate it a wee bit. And those women here are affected by war, which is the Troubles. That word, the Troubles, it's diluted down.
Yeah.
But really, it's civil war.
Yeah.
And really, like the women here, this is why, maybe not our generation, well, maybe a wee bit, but like our parents' generation, it's like, don't go here, don't go there. It's fear in them. So, like, we are, like, I mean, I'd say Dad housewife Vicky, she's 60. I says, Vicky, like, look at all you do. You're famous. I says, and you're still going to work every day, working in your business and everything. I says, my granny's only 20 years older than you. And I says, when she was growing up, like, she'd have been lucky to work in a mill. Do you know? Like, it's just, you know what I mean?
Well, we were saying coming down the corridor there about the mill itself here.
Yeah.
And you
I feel like
you-
there's a
you
lot of
feel
workers
something-
still here.
Yeah.
Definitely there is.
Probably
of
left
course.
their souls.
And I
yeah,
think
see,
that
probably.
it's like residual energy. It's like on a loop.
And this was their fucking life, and it wasn't a great life, so they're stuck there. Is that?
They had heart, but
Oh, no doubt.
and
Our
you
granny.
can't say they didn't have a great life. I know it was hard, different from ours, but they had a lot of heart, and it might have been different. But I do not believe they would swap their life for this life at all.
There's a bit more pressure now to life, I think.
Yeah.
We're the individual now. This is where the individual matters now.
The thing that I always noticed, like, when I was at school, if somebody bullied you, you left it at the school gates, you went home. And unless they can't live in your street, there was no more hassle until the next day. You had a
Yeah.
bit of escape from it. Whereas now, kids go to school, the bullying happens, and then it
Social
fucking
media and
happens
all
on the
time.
way home in the bus. Then it happens on social media. Then you could be playing your PlayStation and they're still calling you fucking names and shouting down it.
Isn't
So
that right? Like,
I think that end of it's
And
really
also
tough for
frightening.
kids.
And also just for like parents and stuff, you went to work, you made a living, you looked after your family. You know what I mean? And then you've done whatever else that you were into. But now it's sort of like you have to be ambitious. You're sort of like
Oh, there's a lot
people
more
are saying
pressure
you're
to have
copping-
things.
Yeah, people are saying you're copping out of life if you're not like trying to be
a billionaire.
something
I
more.
know.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with just being yourself. There really isn't. Sometimes I think,
As long as you're happy.
yes,
I
exactly.
think you just, like people say to me, you know, it's like me, suppose, sitting and watching them couple of fellas walking in the building saying, the other day was like, do you know what? That's gratitude. And that was me going, thank fuck, I'm not doing it anymore. I'll do it if I have to, if it needs, must. Like, I went back to doing the door in the bar during COVID. I will go back and do things, but at the same sense, I'm very, very happy that I don't have to do it anymore, and I'm very grateful that I don't, and you know that I'm able to provide the kids just by telling fucking jokes and doing what I like doing. And I think you have to have an element of that as well.
Where you've got a purpose in life.
Yeah, and you sort of find where
See,
you
that's
are.
what it
and
is. Readings became my purpose, and that saved me from being a drug addict, addicted to speed and all, and being homeless, everything. Like, it was readings that really made me change it all.
And were you homeless?
Aye, for a wee bit, aye.
See, stuff like that makes you very. Would you say it made you stronger?
Definitely.
As a
And
person?
it made me realise who I was and what I wanted, and all them things. Like, material things don't really matter, to be honest.
Yeah, because you do then start to appreciate. I think once you, I mean, I was very successful when we were getting married. I was buying a fucking big house, like a £500,000 house, and was getting married, and the cost I wasn't worried about, and I was making plenty of money in the building scenes, and then everything crashed. Do you know? Everything crashed. I took 2 big advertisements in the Yellow Pages, which I think were about 18 grand. And I was like, I've took a full page in the Yellow, like, this is it, this is the next move.
Aye.
And everything went bang. And like, I didn't get one phone call out that. And the businesses and all went, got my finger bit off. But today, back then, I felt like, this is fucking...
Aye, this is it.
And if I didn't have my wee lad then, I don't know what I would have done or how I would have felt. But for him, I was like, well, I need to fucking keep going.
Aye.
And it was tough. We had some really tough fucking times. Like, me going through depression, not fucking earning money. She had to go back to work early for maternity. She went into a job she didn't do before. And, you know, there was just loads of sacrifices and really, really tough. But we kept the house and we just kept battling on. And then, you know, you get to where you are now and you sit and go to yourself, I needed to have them to realise how lucky I fucking was. And then now I appreciate things a wee bit more.
Yeah.
Do you know that way?
And what are you going to be doing in the future, Paddy? TV.
Do you know what? TV's not even... I mean, this is my TV.
I know.
I look at
TV's
it,
not even, like,
it's
big anymore, sure it's
It
not.
used to be like TV executives, right? We were talking. I was saying to him about rock and roll. Rock and roll came about because of earphones.
Yeah.
So black people would say, "Oh, we had all that music before," and they probably did.
Yeah.
And they had it in their wee rooms and their wee play halls and whatever. But earphones got invented.
Yeah.
And that stopped families from all listening to the same music.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have played rock and roll because your parents wouldn't have listened.
Yeah,
They like
yeah.
fucking whatever they listened, the Everly Brothers and
Yeah.
fucking stuff
They
like
call
that.
him Glenn.
Which Glenn was who came into my head,
Okay.
and I think it was because of him, and I forgot his second fucking name.
The big band jazz stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So and I was going to myself, right? So that's what started rock and roll because they had earphones. Then
Yeah.
people were individually listening to what they wanted to listen to.
Yeah.
So it changed the music scene.
Aye.
TV was the exact same. TV executives used to try and make a program to put out at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
Because if it was a family of 6, they were all different
All
ages, that everybody watched it. So that was like family
Miller.
TV. Yeah, Glenn Miller. So it was that trend to do. Whereas now, you're the
Creator.
person, because
We've got the Hollywood one in our own hands. We've took it back.
do you know what I mean? But you watch what you want to watch, when you want to
Yep.
watch it, and for as long as you want to watch it. So it's no
Exactly.
longer, you're not programmed. Like the TV ads I was saying at Christmas, you used to go through the TV guide.
Didn't you, to see what was on and
pick
all?
it.
And,
Oh,
and
we
every
film,
night
I
you'd
love
come
it. We
home from
film.
school, what's on the night? And all, do
Oh.
you remember? It was like, kids these days will never fucking know, going home and going, what's on the night?
What
You'll
time-
never fucking know it, because you've got it in your fucking phones. They've got everything.
Top of the Pops used to be on a Thursday night, and everybody stayed at home to watch
know.
fucking Top of the Pops. And then it died, and people think, why did it die? It died because you can watch.
They need to
any
bring
music
Brookside back, Paddy.
Brookside?
Brookside. I
Did
love
you like that?
You could get a part in that.
Why?
Just because you'd be a scally. You know what I mean?
Are you trying to say I'm a
Well,
Millie?
you could play a gangster, but
Right.
in something
A
like that.
gangster?
A gangster, yes.
You did play a gangster.
Definitely. I could be very
Do you-
good in a gangster
Do
role.
you know what? BBC and I always get me for parts, right?
Yeah.
I never play like a banker or a priest or anything like that. Whenever I get a part, it's always, Paddy, can you just do your own voice and play this scumbag from West Bay?
Yes.
It's like I'm typecast. That's the only parts I'm getting. But he can play it very well. Until William had his thing, William of Ornsdale. Right?
Yeah.
And he wrote a part that was me.
Yeah.
I was the da. I was the part. It
Yeah.
was me, right?
Yeah.
I auditioned and didn't get the part of me.
Huh?
So, and like William was like, so see the guy that was playing me?
Yeah.
William told him to just watch me and just play me.
Yeah.
So this guy got the part of me playing me after watching me,
Yeah.
whereas I couldn't get it, and I was me. Kieran done the same thing for his.
You meant to be on William Vorensdale.
Well, that's
You
the
know what
way
I
I
mean?
look at it.
That's
There's a reason
exactly
why
it.
you're not in it. Well, it didn't get fucking commissioned, so it was a fucking dodge the bullet. But I thought it was great. But at the same sense, a lot of people, Dave and fucking William wrote that, and they had plans in their head what they wanted to be. But when you meet up with these other people and they read it, they see it in a different way, and
Yeah.
and you're going, that's not. And I think that's why it doesn't work out with me writing stuff for TV and sending in
Yet.
stuff, because
Yet. You'll write a wee drama one day about somewhere shit in West Bay, a wee family, and it'll be like Royal Family or something.
and
It'll be
let
like,
it take off.
you know what I mean?
But
And if you need me to play a furry or something fucking in it, or a wee smick,
a furry,
or a smick, I could be a smick too. Aye, fuck.
Why not?
I can be a smick, no problem.
I'd say you could turn it on, no problem. Click at the
Mm-hmm. You have to when you go out and about, sure.
Aye.
I start walking a wee bit more. If there's a crowd
Or
of
a
fellas or
neck or a
something,
mess.
I do. Aye. I start to get a wee bit and give them like a
I
cheeky
would say
look.
you wouldn't let anybody mess you about.
No. I'm quite a soft person, but I'm not.
No, but
that,
I
like,
can see in you that you'd be like, hold on a wee minute, like,
quite
you know,
feisty.
oh, fuck off. Like, if you needed to tell somebody to fuck off, they would get told. They would get told to fuck off. But I it's one of them things. Like, I'd be as nice as anything, but like William tells the story about we went to a gig and your mom was like, I'm not paying you.
Why?
Right? He just says he wasn't paying, right? And I went, sit there, lads, I'll be back in a minute. William says, I walked in the next room and he just heard a few, like, the next minute I came back and I went, where's go? Where's your money? And it was like, they were going, like, we were just going to go home. And I was like, bollocks.
I know, you need to
You
put
know,
your foot down.
where I came from, you know, if you were meant to get something, you
You
fucking
get it.
got it.
Exactly.
You know,
That's like I do the same though. If like bars or agents or anything try and act about with us, and you know Matt always goes like, "Why would you make such a big fuss?" And that's like I was just always taught, you know, somebody.
You don't let anybody fuck you about.
No, you don't. Definitely not.
And I think that's I do think it's a real Belfast thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the rest of the people in the country, I'm not fucking putting anybody down from anywhere else. But genuinely, like, it's a real working class Belfast thing. We're fucking...
Hold on a minute, you fucking talking to me?
You don't...
Like that?
Like, when I lived in London, see, getting on the train, like, people were like, oh, it's a fucking nightmare to get on the fucking Brixton to Walthamstow fucking train. And I was like, bollocks, I always get the first fucking seat. And I'm not the biggest or the tallest, but I fucking always was alright. You know, fuck off out of my road, you know. And people were like...
It's because you're Irish too.
But like, it's one of them things where you have it and you like, there's no...
Like, cause I always remember, no, like, with dad, if somebody didn't pay him for a job or something, or try to, like, be funny, but he's going, right, dead on, like, you're not paying for gutters, go up and take him down, put the ladder back up and take him down.
Aye.
Or, like, do something to whatever, you know what I mean? Like, so you just, there was ways to...
I am very lucky that way. People say to me, what was it like growing up west? But it was like going through a degree. Like a degree in life. Like, I think most people from Belfast could go anywhere in the world, and they have done. And the reason being is we have this thing in us, but we also have this thing where we're like settle for shit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in Belfast that are just like, and they'll sit in their house and they'll look on Facebook and go, how the fuck's that cunt have a fucking, how's that cunt get a new fucking Audi? And they're sitting in the house fucking gambling the fucking 40 quid they're getting from the brew on the fucking bookies. That's why, fucking forget about that. Fucking think more yourself and just go out and do it. Do you find a lot of people that come to you, are they trying to improve their life, or are they trying to get answers?
Want bit of both. They like to be understood, and they want to know more about their life, and they want to know what direction to take, and they want to know what I can see, really. So I think a lot of people sometimes need it. Like, people will come in, women will come in and they'll look old and drained, and then when they're leaving, it's like all the wrinkles have went away because the stress just leaves. That way.
Do you see yourself as a bit of a counsellor in a way?
I don't like the idea of being a spiritual guru, but I am a wee bit. I am a wee bit. Like, it's kind of like spiritual counselling. You need somebody to be real with you sometimes, and you need somebody to see what you can't see or see it from a different angle. Just
what type of readings is it that you do?
Mostly it's life stuff, but mediumship is a part of it too. But I don't like to advertise it. Yeah. But mostly people come to me with life stuff. And
what way do you do the reading? Is it palm?
I use cards, like, but I don't necessarily need them as such. I like to use them.
Could you do a reading on Patrick?
Probably.
Is there anything that you've thought, or anything
that you need to start putting yourself out more in, like, for like TV and all? I don't know, because you'd be good at presenting, or you'd be good at, like, I don't know. I just think you need to grab a pull by the horns.
You think I'm holding back a wee bit?
A wee bit.
It's mad, isn't it?
And I think this year there's an email going to come. You're going to go, what the fuck? And what he said was right. Blah blah blah. It's just going to take a wee bit of time for everything to work out.
A lot of people must.
It's the executives here. They're fucking. I love yous to bits. Now I love yous, but there's the snails. And they don't even really know what podcast.
Do you know, that's a good way to describe them. Mm-hmm. And it's a way of describing them without. I would be a lot more. I went to a meal with a couple of them. Actually, the top guy from London came over about comedy, and he was like, "So, you know, if you have any ideas?" And I went, "I wouldn't give it to you because you not fucking use it."
Well, I don't know, Paddy, I think if you...
And they were like, what? And I was like, anything they just get, you just stay unsettled to what you've fucking been making for years, you know.
I am actually sick of the shit that they're making. I'm being serious. See some of the shit that they actually make from here. No offence, no, I don't want to see which plastic people are going to date with which plastic people. I'm sorry, I've seen all that before. You've only to go out to see it. Like...
They try and copy
we need
stuff.
A shake up, and they try and copy all the fake things in the world. They try to be something they're completely not.
But then they put a fucking real damp. Sorry to say this, but it's like a fucking Presbyterian DUP fucking stint on it, and then it's not fucking entertaining. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to sit and watch a fucking DUP.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Because they're boring as fuck. I know fucking not everybody agrees with them, but at least the sinners have a wee bit of crack to them. Like, do you know what I mean? When they come out, and if, like that whole thing when they were called crocodiles, and Jerry Adams comes out and went, in a while, I'll see you later, alligator, or something, do you know?
They're more open to memes.
Do you know what I mean?
It's like you're not allowed to meme them.
Yeah. Don't
you
be...
can fucking shop the DA, you know what I mean?
I know, like, he comes out, he fucking rap stores and fucking done that fucking joke Christmas thing and all. You know, it's a bit of crack, and I think maybe fucking don't agree with everything, but fucking at least have a bit of crack with life, because it's fucking very fucking short. And it's one thing I've noticed in the past from COVID, the messages I get, people's like, thank you very much for making me laugh. I was in a dark place and watching yours live slate. There was a guy fucking chased me around a bar one night. Not that way, but he was like, I need to buy you a drink and all. I was fucking on death's door and was in fucking a mental hospital, and the doctor says, have you heard this? And it turned out he was a couple of years below me at school, and he was like, you fucking saved my life, you don't believe.
See?
And I'm like, that's mad.
It's
but
true,
you
but
don't even realise you're...
especially you, Paddy, I think, because you're a man and because you're from West, and because a lot of men maybe don't even think that they're smart and don't even know, and they're afraid to say half things at all, just clones of each other, right mate, but you go the extra and you be it, and that's what really allows them to be it a wee bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so important. That's why I think that can only grow, really.
Yeah. No, listen, definitely it's one of them things where people go, well, fuck, if he can do it, I can do it. And if it gives people hope and they fucking go on to succeed in what they're doing, Jesus Christ, that's unbelievable. It's not even what I'm setting out to do my job, but it's trying to be part of the people. Trying to stay with the people, Glenn, is what I'm doing. What are we on? 51 months. Fucking hell, that flew in. Didn't it? Has a fella ever said that to you before?
Well, not in ages, Paddy. It's terrible.
So what are you thinking then, 2023? Are you looking at a man? Are you looking at
well,
a career?
I did say I would like a husband, the word, I would
Right.
maybe like a man. Because if I don't know, I would like to meet somebody. But my career comes first. Fuck.
Is that right? So you
I've been
think...
called selfish before, Paddy. All you think about is work, Glenn. All you think about, you're fucking right.
But
You're
if you
damn
do-
right. All I think
if
about
you-
is my career. I do. I think about
But
my
if-
clients. and I
If you
think about
don't
work.
think about Glenn, this is the
Exactly.
thing.
Sorry, when I
People
was homeless, nobody thought about me.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
People need to think more about themselves and get themselves...
Exactly.
Because
And take responsibility for yourself. Yeah.
I mean, I think about me and my career and stuff like that.
That too.
And from all that, I can look after the family a lot better.
Yeah.
So don't be thinking you're being selfish. You have to be selfish, because
Yep.
look after number one, which is yourself, your health, and then you can fucking help the people around you.
Yeah.
So in 2023 then, Glenn wants the career to fucking come to
I
the
would
fore.
like to go and read The Housewives at some point with Bravo TV. Andy Cohen, make it happen. Vicky
gonna
Goebbels, make it happen.
Anybody that watches the... And do you know what? This goes out to people that
And
you
there's
wouldn't
other
believe.
projects happening here in Northern Ireland too. There is. I'm not going to run away and leave you yet.
There you go. So
Not
we're
yet,
not
not
lost
yet,
them
not yet.
just yet.
But it'll be the type of thing too. Hollywood could be on the phone now. Right, you get over here. And you always like, oh, we're not leaving Cardiff down. Oh.
Yeah.
You're in that fucking plane now.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
So that's what we're looking at for 2023. But Glenn, thank you for coming.
Paddy,
on.
anytime.
I hear you were very honest and very open.
Bring me on anytime at all. I
And,
love it. It's not far for me to come over
Yes.
here.
No, well, thank you. And folks, any questions, anything like that, or if there's any information that you just want to send to Glenn, send it in. We'll definitely get in contact with him and let him know. So thank you very much.
Paddy,
Thank you,
thanks
Glenn.
very much.
No problem.
I feel electric when you go.